This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Shashina Wolf-Farkas, and as always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news: tragedy at sea just off West Grand Bahama as an apparent human smuggling attempt goes bad. It was a fight against time as Basra, the U.S. Coast Guard, the police, and Immigration Department joined forces in an attempt to rescue the migrants after the vessel they were traveling on overturned. Italia Hall is on the story tonight.
Those who were rescued mourn the loss of the others who did not make it out alive. Police confirming that it was a human smuggling attempt that ended tragically. Assistant Superintendent Stephen Rolls says shortly before 9 on Friday morning, police received a phone call from the Bahamas Air Sea Rescue Association about a 20-foot vessel that capsized some 7 miles off from Memory Rock, just off West End.
Police Marine Section, along with the Customs Marine Section, went to that area and they conducted some investigation. Upon their arrival, they would have met the capsized vessel and 8 persons hanging on who appeared to be dehydrated, who were rescued by the officers. Upon further checks of the vessel, they were discovered 2 persons submerged in the vessel under the water, which was an adult female and a male child. At that time, they both appeared to be lifeless.
When our ZNS News team arrived on the scene, the migrants could be seen in a police boat outside of the Marine base. EMS personnel soon arrived, and the rescue migrants were screened by medical officers. A doctor then pronounced 2 of the migrants dead. Their bodies were lifted out of the police boat and taken away by a hearse. Now an infant is among the group that was rescued. Our ZNS News team was told that the baby boy is only 6 months old. Police say they cannot confirm where the migrants came from, but a boat captain was involved.
At present, we cannot say that he was on board during the time of the incident. But like I say, the police are conducting an investigation. And once we determine that information, we'll come back to the media and advise you accordingly.
Now, our ZNS News team had the opportunity to speak with some of the immigrants. One of the immigrants confirming that her mother lives in the United States, and that is where she was attempting to go. Another immigrant confirming that one of the deceased persons is her son, who's only 9 years old. Senior Immigration Officer Chad Adams says since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, there has been increased human smuggling activity in Grand Bahama and Bimini. He says Bahamians and foreigners must know that these events are dangerous.
Please, be advised. Let us not do these things because persons are losing their lives daily on these human smuggling events. What we're asking is those Bahamian citizens that are involved in facilitating these matters, we want you to understand that both the Immigration Department is working along with the police, with the Defense Force and our international agencies to bring you to justice. Because now persons are losing their life and it's not worth it. So we're asking everyone who's a part and facilitating these events to please stop it and allow these individuals, call it in to us. Anybody who wants to call anything to us, 602-9700, ask for the enforcement unit and we will respond at any time of the day or night.
Now, no word is yet as to whether or not the immigrants will be deported. Immigration officials say as for right now, they are being processed. Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Well, Chairman of the Bahamas Air Sea Rescue Association, Eddie Wan, also on the scene at the Marine base. He says Basra received the call from the Defense Force Coral Harbor base this morning, advising that a vessel had capsized near Memory Rock and that passengers could be seen clinging onto the boat.
Called Mr. Boros from the Marine Division of the Police and asked him if he had a vessel. He immediately launched his vessel to the area, along with a couple of Defense Force police vessel who went directly to the and rescued the 7 people we have right here along with the baby. And a Good Samaritan vessel found the bodies of the lady and the young fella floating, which we brought back in, and as you know, have already been taken down to the Rand Memorial.
Now, Juan says Basra was initially told that some 16 persons were on the vessel. He says they will continue to search for the others buried missing.
We have several aircrafts. Coast Guard has aircraft flying. They actually even gave us 2 Navy helicopters which are flying around. We have Basra vessels out there. We have Basra planes out there, and we have more going. And we're going to search and search and search all through today. Unfortunately, I don't think there's much we can do tonight once we lose daylight, but we will be back on at first light again in the morning with more helicopters, more planes, more boats, whatever we have to come up with.
Switching gears, next week, Grand Bahamas tourism industry is expected to receive a major boost as Royal Caribbean Cruise Line begins to weekly visit to this northern island. A few of the major attractions on the island are preparing to welcome guests. Officials of Grand Bahama Nature Tours are excited about what this could mean. Natalia Hall has the story.
Grand Bahama Nature Tours will be a part of that experience as passengers will take part in several activities that the company has to offer. General Manager Denise Neely says originally a bubble concept was planned where only vaccinated passengers would be allowed to interact with each other in an area, but now that plan has changed slightly and vaccination is not required for employees of the company.
So there is a little more relaxation with the criteria that they need, but here at the Garden of the Groves, they had their visit a few weeks ago, and they visited the property, and they were pleased with the protocols we have in place right now. So they are able to have certain areas designated for them, but we're still also welcoming our locals in the garden since they really kept us through this entire pandemic. So everybody's able to coexist at the gardens right now.
The ship will arrive on island at 7 a.m. and departure from the harbor to the tour sites will take place at 8 a.m.
Guests will go on our kayaking, biking tour, but all the tours will end up here. They're going to have lunch, we have shopping available, and they'll also be able to do some self-guided tours.
She says following the tours, passengers will visit the Garden of the Groves, and the team has been working to have the property fully prepared.
One of our highlights of this is after Dorian, we were not able to do our number one tour, which is our Lakaya National Park Kayak and Nature Tour out east, because everybody knows how devastated that property was. But during this time, during the pandemic, we've been going out, and we were finally able to get clearance through the mangrove forest. So they were very excited to know that we were able to now reintroduce that excursion, which was their number one that they've enjoyed over the years.
The groups will start off with no more than 30 persons.
We have Carnival that's going to do a test cruise on the 23rd. We increased the numbers a bit for them. They are doing probably a little more tours, but right now everybody's eyes are on Royal Caribbean to see how they handle this new environment, and then we just go from there.
The general manager calling the opportunity forward movement for the company and the island.
We have opened on a small scale for our local visitors, but this is an exciting time now because it brings back a sense of normalcy to start interacting with our foreign visitors and with tour guiding. You know, this is what they do, and this is what they look forward to. This is what they miss. So there is a huge amount of enthusiasm that, you know, that everybody, the ships are also feeling the same enthusiasm. So for us, it's a moral booster. It's an economic boost. So in every sense, this is just an awesome step forward.
Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Well, Ministry of Tourism General Manager Stephen Johnson sharing in the excitement as they count down the arrival of Royal Caribbean Cruise Line's Adventures of the Seas. Johnson says the June 18th arrival spells good economic stability and signals the reopening of the cruise industry on Grand Bahama.
Some good news. They're also going to be coming on Thursdays. They have a select number of schedules. For instance, they'll be coming back on the 24th and also again July 2nd. And now they're also going to be having a Sunday flight. They're going to have a Sunday departure or Sunday arrival coming in. And that's going to be July 11th. They're going to be having at 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Adventure to Seas will be in Grand Bahama again. So they have a pretty much a really, really good schedule anywhere from June 18th to September 12th. And then obviously they're going to shift after that.
Now, Johnson reiterating that there will be some changes as they'll no longer be required to adhere to a bubble system. He explains.
They're going to be having about 10 to 15 what they call curated tours that Royal Caribbean Cruise is going to be selling to their passengers. But they're not forcing passengers to go. Passengers are able to go anywhere in any taxi, any part of the island, and so everybody benefits, even Port Lucaya, even the downtown vendors. So cab drivers are allowed to flex themselves throughout Grand Bahama. We're just asking visitors to be mindful of the protocols, the government health and safety protocols, wearing their masks, social distancing in stores, restaurants, establishments, etc.
Now, Johnson is encouraging Grand Bahamians to remain positive as he says a number of other cruises are expected to visit in the very near future. Switching gears now, the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources, along with IICA, hosting a one-day biogas training workshop on Saturday, June 12th. Minister responsible, the Honorable Michael Pintard, noting that the workshop will instruct participants on how to utilize organic material as a source of bioenergy and fuel.
We're happy to be partnering once again with AICA in putting on a capacity building workshop that would assist a number of agribusiness persons in learning how to cost effectively build a biodigester. And they will learn both the theory as well as the practical in how to use organic material to create methane gas. And there are also other byproducts such as liquid fertilizers, and there are other solvents that can be used for other purposes.
Minister Pintard says the workshop is particularly important at this time because it is necessary to find cost-effective ways for families to support themselves.
Using what persons would consider as waste products has now become a huge industry in terms of converting waste into something that is useful and sustainable. So this is but another example. We just came through Dorian. We have tons of trees that are down. We missed an opportunity early in terms of using that material for a wide range of products, whether it was the creation of furniture, mulch, wood chip, biofuels. And this is an example of an attempt to take ordinary things that we would otherwise just throw away. And then in this case, it's actually using waste product from swine, which really has a number of benefits.
Now, Minister Pintard says there will be a theory session from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Jack Hayward High School and a practice session at Berkshire Bahamas Farm at 12:30 to 3 p.m. All interested persons are invited to register at the ministry downtown Freeport. The International Labor Organization will celebrate World Day Against Child Labor tomorrow. Child labor has decreased by 38% in the last decade. However, the ILO has confirmed that over 152 million children are still engaged in child labor. The National Tripartite Council, in conjunction with the International Labor Organization, submitted a recommendation to the Minister of Labor for the adoption of a national child labor labor policy. That policy will take into consideration the recent concerns raised by the 2019 Hurricane Dorian impact on children and young people and the lessons emerging in the aftermath of mass devastation in the islands of Abaco and Grand Bahama. Now, the National Child Labor Policy is designed to prevent, prohibit, and eradicate child labor in the Bahamas, prevent and prohibit children from entering the labor market before the minimum age of employment, and develop methods to report incidents and establish penalties for violators, protect children through withdrawal from situations of child labor and worse forms of child labor by increasing opportunities for youth employment and monitoring children impacted by natural disasters, and increase public awareness, emphasizing the difference between child labor and acceptable work for children while creating public awareness campaigns. Stay with us. We'll be back right after this.